everyone, it's Nicole. Today I'm here to finally film the Unpopular Book Opinions tag 2.0. I already filmed this one time on my channel. It was a long time ago, I think 2 years ago, and I had a lot of fun with it. So now I'm back with more opinions, more books that I hate and more books that I love. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first question, and probably my favorite, because nothing is better than dragging a book that you spent so much time on and that didn't give you any enjoyment or didn't give you enough in return in general. A popular book series or book that you didn't like. Let's start with the ones that I felt neutral about, the ones that I gave maybe 2 or 3 stars. I didn't hate them, but since people love them so much and they have such big fan bases, I feel like it's important to mention them since I'm probably not the only one that didn't feel the same way. The first book is The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. It's the first book in his most popular series, I believe, and the oldest series that he ever wrote. There's a lot of fans of this series, and I understand why people love it, because it was a part of their childhood. There's a lot of books like this that hold some kind of precious meaning to people, but I read it now at 24 and I didn't feel anything about it. I actually thought that it was poorly written, and the reason why I thought it's because it had too much dialogue in my opinion and wasn't funny. And I love Greek mythology, but I think I prefer it to be retold in a more serious manner. Another extremely popular one, Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I do not have anything against Rainbow Rowell. I think she's a great author, especially when writing characters. I just thought this book held much more promise and it didn't deliver for me. Basically, it's about fanfiction and fandoms, and I was in fandoms and I am in fandoms and I read fanfiction, and I always was in the queer part of the fandom, being queer myself. It held a huge importance for me and it actually helped me build my confidence as a queer woman. So I didn't see it reflected in this book and I really wanted to. I know it's not really a legitimate critique, it's just my expectations weren't met. Moon Cold by Patricia Briggs. It was one of those books that I was very excited to read because I love urban fantasy, and I was very disappointed. It was full of toxic masculinity despite having a strong, interesting female character as a lead, and it was promising me an abusive romance. Also, it was dragging a lot and I couldn't tell characters apart, which is the worst thing. Then there's the shocking one, Illuminate by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I've heard so many great stuff about this book and I love the way it's done, and I love the structure of it, that it's basically multimedia. I read Night Film before that and I loved it, especially because of the way it was presented. So I picked up Illuminate, and what do I see? It starts with beautiful teenage drama. It's about this couple who broke up and the planet is suddenly invaded by aliens with such annoying characters. It's really hard to get into this book, and the top of my hate list has to be taken by The Perks of Being Wallflower by Stan Chbosky. I loathed this book. I fucking hated Charlie. I hated his voice. He's supposed to sound older than he sounds in the books. I cringed through all the chapters that I managed to read. I actually DNF'd this book. I had to put a little bit of effort to find this book because when I DNF'd it, I was so pissed at it, I just stuffed it somewhere where the light doesn't shine. So basically I found it in a very unusual place. Moving on, a popular book or series that everyone seemed to hate but you loved. I'll start with The Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. A lot of people didn't seem to like this book. It's still very popular and buzzy, but some people just started it and gave up on it. This actually gave me all the validation that I needed as an ex-fandom person and present fandom person as well. What fangirl didn't deliver, this book delivered, and that's why I loved it. The Queen of the Tearling by Erica Johansson, also a book that I made a review on. You know what I need to do. When it just came out, a lot of people didn't like it, and I loved it from the page one. I really love the concept of it, that it's a regressed society. A lot of people found it confusing. I just gobbled it up because I found it unique. I love the fact that it doesn't have a lot of romance. Well, it doesn't have romance at all, to be honest, and I'm so okay with it. The last book got its heat because suddenly it got popular. I'm going to tell you something very unpopular right now. Such an unpopular opinion you're going to gag. It's the Captive Prince series by C.S. Packard. I'm absolutely in love with the series. It has a few problematic tropes, I'm not going to lie. There is some heavy, mature content. It deals with slavery and sexual harassment and rape and violence, but it is very engaging and you cannot tell that C.S. Packard is a bad writer. What I love the most about this book is the fact that it's the most realistic portrayal of two people hating each other and then slowly falling in love. It's not a mutual dislike, it's not simple as that. Damien and Lauren have legitimate reason to fucking loathe each other. Shakespeare-level reasons. And I'm speaking, one of them killed the other's brother. You know when people say that hate is a big word and they won't use it lightly? Concerning this relationship, it's the only right word to use. So in my opinion, relationship-wise, it's the most interesting journey I've ever read about. And concerning the rape and violence bit, there's a lot of trigger warnings in these books. The violence in general is era-compliant. The world builds itself on ancient Rome and Greece, so you expect it to be violent and to have slaves. The only advice in this department that I can give, that if you cannot stomach spicy foods, don't fucking eat them. Do not read books with contents that trigger you. Don't do that to yourself. Stop. A love triangle where the main character ended up with the person you didn't want them to end with. I ran out of ideas when I've been thinking about this question because I already mentioned Harry Potter series in the last video. I might have to go with the series that is not as popular. And that's going to be an I Darken series by Kirsten White, which I absolutely adore. It's historical fantasy. The characters that I have to mention are the OTP that I don't like. It has actually a love triangle, but it's not the love triangle that you expect to see. You'd expect me to say that I would like Radu and Mehmet to be together instead of Lada and Mehmet. For them to be happy, gay cinnamon rolls together, but I actually do not approve of Mehmet and Radu together. At all. I think that Mehmet is so bad for Radu. He does a lot of stupid shit because of him and he really needs to grow out of his stupid rush. Why waste your time on straight boys? A popular genre you hardly reach for. Last time I said non-fiction, but I got better and now I read non-fiction. Not as much as fiction, but still I love to pick up a few books in a year on an interesting topic. Now I have to say young adult contemporary. I do not gravitate as much to this genre, especially if it's like plain, straight, young adult contemporary romance. I'm not into that. I might give a chance to a gay romance because I love everything gay. Everything else is pretty much non-appealing to me. The other genre that I need to mention is horror. I don't want to read in horror genre anything at all because I'm not that person that likes to scare themselves. I don't know why people love watching horror movies. Are you fucking bananas? I don't like being scared, no thank you. And at the top of my list, dystopian genre. I think I will never ever going to read anything in dystopian genre on purpose. I might pick up a book and be unaware that it has dystopian plotline, but I'm just at this point so tired of dystopian. A popular or beloved character that you don't like. I don't read a lot of books where I hate the characters because I put them down and don't torture myself further, so it's hard to pick someone. But if I have to, I will pick Matthias from Six of Crows series. Matthias was the characters that I didn't care about. I didn't care about his point of view, I didn't care about his story that much. I did hate him a bit in the first book, especially because he didn't just sound like a Nazi that hates Grecias. It's obviously something he was trained to think, but he was also slut-shaming and pretty sexist in my opinion, so I didn't vibe with him well. And in the second book, I just didn't care about him. A popular author that you can get into. This time it's going to be Rick Riordan. I'm not sure that I'm going to read any other books in his other series because I really didn't like this style of writing in The Lighting Thief. I might try something, but so far I'm unimpressed. His books are not something that I particularly would like to read. A popular book trope that you're tired of seeing, I will say, bury your gays trope. Please stop killing women of color and queer women on screen, in books, every fucking where. Please just stop. Just stop. Why do you think we need it when we don't need it? I was just so disappointed with 2016 because every character that I loved decided to die. Well, This character didn't decide for themselves, obviously. Replexa. May we meet again. A popular book series that you have no interest in reading, Guard the Mark by Veronica Roth, because I was not interested in her earlier works. They are dystopian and I'm not into this genre, as we figured out. Caramel by Stephanie Garber, a pretty buzzy book right now. At first I wanted to read it because I wanted to love The Night Circus and I didn't, and I thought maybe I will love this book instead. But then I saw a review, I don't remember who did it, but it was pretty much dissecting the whole book, and there were a few things that I know I won't enjoy about this book. To wrap this up, the last question. The saying goes, the book is always better than the movie, but what movie or TV show was better than the book? After reading The Perks of Being Wallflower, I have to say that the movie is just brilliant. And also, I would like to mention The Chronicles of Shannara. I'm not really interested in the book, I've heard some bad stuff about it, but the TV show is good, I like it, and I ship people. That's everything that you need to know. That's everything in this tag. I enjoyed doing the second time around and telling you what I think. If you want to do this tag, I'm going to link the original video and the questions down below. Thank you for watching. Bye!